That's not who I am. I feel like if I start to sacrifice who at my core that I believe that I am, before you know it, I'm drifting.
I don't know if I agree, but I understand. I have a different perspective.
Yeah.
And when you know yourself, you can create those opportunities. And that lets you know that your position don't really make you. But the person you are in that position makes the position. Because you are unique.
What up, twin?
Twin!
What up?
The same color.
Yeah, man. So we're starting to think of like, oh shoot, I got my earphones in, so maybe get that out. Today, man, I just want to have a different conversation today.
Are we starting now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You scared? You scared? Say you scared, man.
A little bit.
Jumping in.
What you about to say?
Ain't no telling, right? Ain't no telling. That's I wanted to keep it fresh.
All right, cool.
And because we've been the last couple of weeks, we've been doing new things, right? So let's just do a new thing right here and just talk, man.
Experiment.
Talk. Let's just talk.
Hey, we can do that, bro. We do that anyway.
Yeah, we do. We do a lot. And I'm gonna start with the lyric of the week. Lyric of the week comes from Mac Miller, and he says, "And I'm a pro, R.I.P.
Oh gosh, man.
He says, "And I'm a pro when it comes to my job.
Okay.
But really, I'm just trying to start believing in God." And you know how I've been feeling the last couple of weeks is learning. I feel like we talked about this before, but it's still an evolution. I want to continue to be great at this. Is like putting everything in God's hands and allowing Him to work. And when I hear that lyric, I'm a pro when it comes to my job. When it comes to do what I do, bro, nobody can do it no better, right? That's how I feel, right? There's some things I can get better at, in all seriousness, but I'm a pro. I'm still a professional. I'm a pro. Like when it comes to leading people, when it comes to running this business, like I'm cream of the crop, top of the top. Period. I don't care what you say. I don't care. And what's my superpower? Do you remember my superpower was?
Yeah.
What makes me different from everybody else?
Care more.
I care more than anybody else care.
Yeah.
Right. I care about the person more than any. Yes, I want to perform. Yes, I want a result. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you're good as a person. Right. Right. So, all that being said, right, I'm reflecting on a conversation, or I don't know if it's a situation or what. Anyway, so in my office, there's a WWE like action figure.
Oh, okay. Wrestling. Okay, got you.
Right? And the wrestler is Big E. Okay. So just put a picture of Big E right here.
Okay.
So people know who Big E is.
Big E.
Big E is very different. Very, very different. So you're usually doing this. And so the way I got this action figure of this wrestler is from our GM. Okay. It was at the going away party for my previous regional vice president. Okay. And he gave everybody his action figures, and he gave reasons on why he chose to give everyone his action figures. And when he gave me mine, he said, Henry, he's not like this person. He's not like that person. He's Henry. He's different. Right. And I didn't know how to take that, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't know if that was like a good thing or bad thing. And recently I found myself going back to that interaction because, again, I think that's what makes me successful is because I'm different. And I don't smoke. Okay. Like we have people on team smoke cigars, whatever, right? I don't drink. We got a lot of people that drink. Right. Right. I don't curse. Right. I'm not dropping F-bombs and all this. And I don't play golf. I can get with the golf though. I don't play golf, but I can. You all right at Top Golf? Like I can enjoy it. I get tired of it after like 9 holes, but but it's something I don't mind getting better at. But there's a lot of things that make me different. But I think also there's not a lot of people that like and just how many people do you know in your life that are actively trying to become their best self every single day. That's listening to books, listening to audio, like really developing themselves every single day.
How many people I know?
Yeah.
Me, you.
And I think that's what also makes me different, because a lot of people treat work like work.
Yeah.
And but again, that's why I started it with what makes me different is I really care about the person. I really want to make sure people are their best self.
Yeah. I think that's your biggest struggle too, bro.
It is 1,000%.
I mean, not that it's your fault, but not too many people care about work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, from what I see.
Yeah, the world. That's just how the world is. It's a job. Like that's how the world that's how you've been trained to to whatever, right? So my challenge is and we've done a really great job at it, because I do feel like I have a people that surround me that do think bigger than just, they think long term, they think career versus just job mentality, right?
Right.
We got our team is freaking strong, bro. Strong. Like they some killers. But my point is saying all this, right? Is I'm getting to the point, bro, like I'd rather my relationship with God and my journey with, becoming a better believer and follower of Christ, I'd rather that be at the forefront than and leaving everything in his hands. And if that means that I don't get promoted because I don't smoke, I don't get promoted because I don't drink, I don't get promoted because I'm not. And also what makes me a different is too, like, I love people, but I'm very system oriented though. And like I'm very process driven. So sometimes that doesn't always come off as people oriented, people friendly. And I'm learning how to do that, but still be who I need to be for people, and for people can feel that way, right? But naturally, it don't come up. I'm not an influencer by nature.
Right.
I'm a conscientious by nature.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And that makes me different. And I'm okay, and I'm learning to be okay with that.
What does that have to do with Jesus Christ?
Because when people, so this is how I feel.
I asked you that for more clarity.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Sometimes people think there's one way to get to a place. And when they've gotten to their place because of this way, because of who they are, right? And it works for them. And that's good. But for me, bro, that's not who I am. And what I mean by that, and I don't think it's a heaven or hell thing, right? But I'm one of those people, like I don't know, we're just talking. I feel like if I start to
You think we are, but go ahead.
I feel like if I start to sacrifice who at my core that I believe that I am, and like how I perceive my life and what I've practiced my entire life to become, and I start to give those things away, before you know it, I'm drifting. I'm on, it's almost like that idea of, one taste of alcohol makes you an alcoholic.
Right.
Or it turns you into alcohol, because it started with that just one taste. And the next thing you know, you're drinking once a week. Then you're drinking, once a day. Now you're drinking one, you get a drink every hour, right? And it just becomes, it's just a snowball. And I don't want to be that person that sacrifices my core values of it's not right or wrong. It's not good or bad. It's not heaven or hell.
It's purpose.
It's who I want to be.
Purpose.
And what I've seen in my life.
Purpose.
Purpose. So
purpose.
So I don't know. I just had to get that out.
What you say? Know yourself. Know your what?
No, you said know your worth. No.
Purpose.
Oh, know your purpose. Yeah.
Clarity of self.
Yeah.
Equals clarity of purpose. God told me something this morning, bro. And I was just gonna quote it, just like, like it just came to me, and I'm just so brilliant. But I'm gonna read it because it's so much impact. The fact that you saying this, and a position don't make you. You make the position. Just because you got in that position, it would never be the same.
Dang, that's deep, bro.
Purpose.
Yeah. Why did that come to you though?
I don't know. I sometimes I be driving and I have a lot of different thoughts. But there are some thoughts that stick out, and I know it's the Lord. It's like He highlights certain things that He say to me. It's crazy weird how He communicate with me sometimes, and that stuck out. And it's like we say, okay, we podcast. Everybody podcasts. Oh, it's saturated. Or I'm a cleaner, or I'm a person that work in the factory. Everybody works in the factory. Everybody's not you. You know what I mean? That's why we, the focus of the channel or the podcast is becoming the person, becoming who you're called to be, getting clarity of self. Because once you understand who you truly are, then you understand that whatever position you're in, that position don't make who you are, but you make the position. The position will change because you once sat in that position. Just because of your influence, just because of who you are. You've been in an area like that. Just by you being in that position, by the time you leave that position, it won't be the same because you set new standards, and that may cause for you to do some unorthodox things. You know what I mean? And even with what started I guess the train of thought. I saw this this clip by Philip Anthony Mitchell.
Okay.
And he the clip was, what am I called to do? And he pretty much saying he was pretty much saying that America make everything such a romance. Like, maybe you're just called to be a great believer or a great,
Keep it simple.
Yeah. For me, like with my appetite, I'm like, I don't know if I agree.
Right.
But I understand. I have a different perspective.
Yeah.
And it's really aligned with what he's saying. Yeah. Like, it's not really what you do. It's not. We saw the Cheeto guy.
Cheeto. Hot Cheetos.
Hot Cheetos. He went from working in a factory, right, to he became what? Chief marketing operator?
Something like that.
You know what I mean? He went from this seat to that seat. And that lets you know that your position don't really make you. But the person you are in that position makes the position. And I think what I struggle with too is that I compare like our podcast. I'm like, okay, branding, what the branding needs to look like. Right. This brand is that over there. They talk about this over there. What? And I think that's another reason, like everybody podcasts, but there's only one Henry and one Anthony Robinson, Henry Hardin and Anthony Robinson. And we're seated in the arena of podcast. And just because we're here, podcasting will never be the same. Yeah. Because we're different. We're unique based upon the person we are.
I want to introduce you all to the What Am I Doing Right? A Leadership Journal. If you're looking for change, if you're looking for clarity, and you're looking for purpose, this journal will help you foster the habits to receive those things.
I would say you first have to have a vision. You have to write that vision down.
And it says write a vision down and make it plain. Continue to write, and that's going to clear up the
make it plain.
We often say that clarity of self equals a clarity of purpose.
How did you build your influence?
I led with myself. The results get people in the building, but your retention rate going to be based off of how you are as the person, your character, how do you treat people.
This journal will help you foster the habit to create impact within your leadership.
It's so easy to get caught in your own habits. Even if I feel like I'm about to fall back into my habits, I'll go back to the vision. That clarity and me writing it down brings about discipline.
What Am I Doing Right? Leadership Journal. Grab your journal today, link in the description.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. like you make the difference in terms of where you are or where you're doing, like your personality, the things that make you unique is what makes the position things that make you unique are the things that really that bring value to everything that's going to come after you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like you're setting different standards, man. Like, yeah, you know, people may say, "Oh, you think?" Well, they're gonna talk. But I believe that once we become, or get to a place where we are confident and we are okay with us as people, and who we are, then what they say won't even matter. And even if we understand that who we are benefit what we do, then the confidence will be even greater. You know, so the position don't make you. And I'm just saying, I'm talking to myself too. I'm glad you brought this up because this wasn't planned at all. Just to be honest, this wasn't planned. But you started talking, I was like, man, let me go to this quote. Just. And I was gonna say it just to say it, but I had to read it.
Yeah. But it kind of goes back to what I was talking about in our last pod, just about like you have to be just okay with things not necessarily going the way that you want them to go, and being okay with like not succumbing to your vices,
right?
Or even the stuff that are other people's vices. Don't bring those vices into your space too.
Right.
But I don't know, bro. Like I'm just at that point where like being able to journal and like being able to like keep up with the things that are going right in your life and evaluating your situation as well. It just helps you. It helps you be more clear in who you are.
Clarity
of self equals clarity of purpose, right? Is that what you say? It's just.
I love it, man.
That's where I'm at right now, bro.
I love it.
I don't know how much I got left, but that's just like.
Nah, that's perfect, bro. It's perfect, man. Like, this is the perfect opportunity to not only buy the "What Am I Doing Right" journal.
Yeah. Get one for real, because it's helping me. Like, it's helping me become. It's helping me like become more centered.
Yeah.
And what I'm okay with, and what I'm not okay with, like
boundaries. Yeah.
Like boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries. Like.
Yeah.
Like. And don't get me wrong. Again, like that's what I was saying. Like before, just like I don't want to judge anybody, or I don't want nobody to feel like I'm judging them because I'm doing what's true to me. Right. Like again, like I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with drinking.
Right.
I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with with smoking or with I don't like it's what Bobby Brown says, it's your prerogative, right? Like it's, if it works for you, bro, it works for you, right? But I think what the challenge though is like, and this is why, like, you talk about you make the position and going to, like, because don't get me wrong, like there's things that you're gonna always push people to be better at, and there's things that you're gonna always like try to I give you an example, right? I was talking to one of my guys, this past weekend, and I had shook his hand, and when I shook his hand, he did something like, I don't say weird, but it's something different with his hand. And I was like, hey, did you notice that you do that? He was like, do what? I was like, when you shake hands, you put your index finger on that person's wrist. Do you know what that means? Like, are you familiar with where that come from?
He a young guy?
Not, yeah, he a little younger.
Yeah. I don't know what it means, but I know young guys used to do it.
Well, so it's actually not a younger person thing. So, and I learned this when I was at Fort Valley. It's actually he was like, I don't know. Like, he was like, that's how my grandfather shook hands.
Oh. Okay.
And I was like, and I started breaking down to him a little bit about Masons
Oh, that's
in masonry.
Oh, I didn't
And
know
like
that.
that's why he shook hands that way, because when Masons shake hands, they put their finger they put their index finger on the person's
Pulse.
like little pulse right there. Yeah. I don't know why they do. I don't know why it's a thing, but like it's like a symbol. It's like a symbol of I'm down.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So but it's stuff like that, right? Where it's like I want to help people understand themselves more.
Yeah.
You know, like
That see
I don't want to necessarily change anyone per se, because I think when you can understand yourself and you can understand like why you do what you do, and I give you, I don't know if I want to say that, but I'm gonna say something like it. You know, I think I think that's I think that's part of my challenge, is that sometimes I feel like people are trying to change me and change who I am.
Yeah.
And I don't. But if you just give me a different outlet to be myself,
right.
and that's something that me and somebody else were talking about. If you give me a different outlet to be myself and give me just a different view or venue,
right.
to do what feels right to me, it would have been perceived better for me, versus me I ain't gonna say resentment, but like me, because I ain't gonna say I don't know if I'm a rebel. I might be a little bit of a rebel.
No, that makes me a rebel. If I feel like you're trying to change me,
Yeah.
I'm going to rebel.
Yeah.
This is what Be More to Do More is about, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think what you're saying is what I've been trying to put in words for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've been trying to figure out, what is this passion? Why do I care about helping people understand themselves?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and helping people understand their strengths and, you know, what they do, because it is that it's the, I want to say, the backlash of somebody's trying to change you, or me trying to change and fit something else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is the backlash. It Be More to Do More is the backlash of that. It is the rebellion of that. You know, like, no, I feel like, and I know for sure that God made us unique for a reason. Yeah. You know, and I think we're getting to a point where, because we have social media, people are now becoming more, is it acceptable of that?
Susceptible, I think. Yeah.
Thank you, man. You know, I struggle. But anyway, but we're becoming more open to that. That everybody, you know, that's how I raised my son. You know, he went swimming, right? And man. So anyway.
Nah, I can say it. What is it?
Nah, he went swimming. And you know, like, this kid might do good in that. This kid might do good in that.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Chris Ann might be like, hey, you see this guy? I was like, nah, babe, don't compare him. He's him.
Yep.
He may do this well, but he may not like, you know. That's how in my household I try to, you know, establish that, be who you are. Even my wife. We joke about my wife because she's so unique.
Yeah.
You know my wife is unique.
Yeah.
She's a different person. And we joke about her all the time, but I think like on our anniversary, I said, man, like, being with you is just like a joy. She brings color to my life. It's aggravating sometimes. Yeah. It is. It's truly, because I'm just black and white. I'm boring. But when she brings color to my life, it creates memories. Yeah. Because of the person she is. Like, oh, you're so extra. We tell her that, but everybody need a Chris Ann in their circle. And I tell her that she got to just be you. Don't change. Yeah. And I think for anybody, just be who you are. Yeah. You know.
And and don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect at this, by the way, because like it sounds good in theory of like,
it's a practice.
Let people like, because when we had Kevin on, we kind of talked about like him allowing people to master or leverage their strengths, and don't try to make their weaknesses better. Like, don't get me wrong, like I still have that. I still do that. Right. Like I'm not perfect at it, but I guess when I'm more realizing, it could have came from that conversation, right? Like just realizing like, oh dang, you know what? Maybe I do need to make sure that leveraging people's strengths versus trying to maximize their weaknesses or minimize their weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I got a revelation out of that, bro.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good conversation. Go back and check
I
it
got
out.
a revelation out of that. I'm like, dang, man, because that it creates confidence in people.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when they're able to constantly see their strengths, when you put it in front of them, and you, hey, do this, and they just take off. Hey, you know, you do really great at this. Hey, let's work on this too. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool, bet.
But that's why I'm grateful for my team too. Yeah. Because I have a person on my team who she helps me be like, 'cause my tone because of the way I grew up. I get it from my mama. I'm tell you right now. My mama this way. I'm gonna tell you because she's sharp with her tongue, right? And she's a great communicator though.
Yeah.
She's a great communicator.
Yeah, for sure.
But sometimes, for me anyways, sometimes the message that I'm saying, I can say it in a negative tone or a really aggressive tone. Right?
Yeah.
So when I speak with this particular employee, I know that I have to shift how I would normally say a message, which honestly, it's how I should be delivering all my messages.
Right.
So I've learned to start practicing, okay, how would I deliver this to this person? I need to deliver this to every person, unless it's like a more serious situation. I need to be that sharp tone or whatever. But like, I'm trying to get better with just because the way I grew up, it was very, we joning, right?
Yeah.
Like you had, like it's just, like you talking trash, like trash talking, playing sports, like being competitive. Like
I was never good at that, by the way.
What's talking trash?
Yeah, John.
Oh man, yeah. I used to be really, really good at it.
Really?
And then when I started developing myself, I learned that like it's like a negative thing. So I kind of started getting away from it. So like that's like even now today, when it's on the spot, I used to be really good on the spot.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I'm really not that great on the spot because I stopped using that muscle of like that snapping back. Like I stopped because the way I would snap back was very negative. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So I just stopped using it all.
Man, it's just I'm an empath. So I don't want to go too far.
Oh yeah.
So I never let myself. Yeah. That's why I deviated around that always.
Yeah. I'll say it and I feel bad after saying it. Yeah. Like dang, maybe I ain't mean it like that. But like that's just but again, when people know your intentionality and people know your they know your heart, they might sting a little bit, but they ain't gonna like hate you forever because
for sure,
right? Because they know like I know you didn't mean it that way, right? Still hurt, but I know you didn't mean it that way. But that's again, as a leader, you gotta know to taper yourself a little bit too, because you can't always be your full self like that. But
well, I mean, too, that's when we also learn to delegate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, in some ways, you can't tell this person talk to this person. Because, they can't take it. But as a leader, of course, you have to make adjustments. But sometimes, like delegate. I know me. I know I need to delegate, and I need to get better with that. Like learning how to delegate, like use my circle. You know what I mean? Like, and not just with this stuff, but just how to not even use my circle. Use is a bad word. Y'all see?
But that's what you should. People should want to be used. If you're not, I'm just being real. Like I like being used. Now, don't get me wrong. Like when I feel like somebody is using me, or like it's this, like when I feel like I'm like they're using me as a crutch or like just like I can say no. Yeah. Like if I feel like it's like detrimental, but in my opinion, bro, like that's why people used to get mad when I say this too, right? Every single person wants something from everybody.
We talked about that, right? I remember that part.
Yeah, like every single person.
I learned from that. Yeah,
every single person wants something. Like even if I just call you just to check in on you, I want to know how you feel, bro.
Ooh, I got some. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
No, man. Because even with the branding, right? This guy be dropping gems. Man, I was in the shower. I get gems like on the shower, on the toilet, in the car. Guy be talking to me, man. Maybe that's the time I'm most settled. But I was in the shower, man. Guy was like, because we got the journals, right? And I was like, man, I want to add value to people. This is why we do what we do. We want to bring clarity to people. We got the journal because we want people to. It's a tool for clarity, you know. And I said, I don't want people to just support me just to support me.
Right.
But he got on me about that.
Yeah. Let them support you.
Yeah.
Good. Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I'm gonna give you a scenario. Hold on. Let me give you. He gave me a picture. See, I told you he talked to me in pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
He gave me a picture of this sweet little girl, like with a lemonade stand.
Yeah.
And he was like,
what?
People are supporting this little girl.
I say that. Yeah.
What?
No.
They're supporting this little girl because they want to see her succeed.
She got blonde hair or?
Nah, she was actually she looked like my nursery girlfriend. Like her name was Candace. I remember. She was mixed or something. She had like black curly hair. And anyway, she was little, and she was selling lemonade, and people were supporting her. She's so adorable. She's so cute. I want to support her. Here, sweetie. Here's $5. Here's $20. And I said, man, I don't want that. And he was like, but that's her brand. And he was like, she's still adding value to people. People feel good about supporting her.
Who are you to take that away from them?
Right. That's her brand. How, what about you? What's your brand?
Yeah.
People out here want to support you.
Yeah.
Because they see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang. That broke that, bro.
Yeah, that's ego too. I think that's like pride, because I feel the same way. Like,
yeah, it is.
I don't want nobody just to buy, just to be like.
I told you I got vices, bro.
Like almost one of those. Oh, bless your heart. Here, take these $20.
Yeah.
Like I don't want that. But if God, if that's what it is, that's what it is. We gotta be okay with it.
Support. Like my grandma want a journal, man. Grandma want a journal? What she say?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, right.
But I want to buy it because she want to support.
But then when you explain it though,
yeah.
She was like, oh yeah, I write my thoughts all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the world journals, I guess. But
I interrupted you though, bro. Go ahead.
No, but you know what because we talk about differences and talk about, I don't know if you remember Men in Black.
Uh-huh.
And because you were explaining the lemonade stand, I this image of, if you go back and watch Men in Black.
Yeah.
There's a scene, I think it's the first one, when he's going through they trying to figure out who's gonna be the next Men in Black person. And they got people from like the military, like Marines and all these military guys in there, right?
Right.
And they go through the little shooting course or gun range, and and he shoots, it's a little white girl with blonde hair, and he shoots it's the only shot he makes. It's the only shot that he makes in that scene. So he shoots the white girl, and they're like, stop it right now. They bring they bring the little thing up, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, why did you shoot this person? Well, he's like, I don't know if he's like, it's midnight. All these aliens around, and she the only one that's out here. And she was selling some cookies or something like
yeah.
Like that's like, but he thought different.
Yeah, it was a different way. See,
purpose,
man.
Like,
yeah,
like, but what I was gonna say though, that's what I just had to get that out.
but it made sense. He thought different. Yeah, Men in Black. Yeah.
But what I was gonna say though is like the only thing that's keeping us from virality, or that's keeping us from, like, because you was talking about, everybody pies, or the people that, let me say this, like the people that, what you meant is how I took it. The people that pied have, a lot of people have a nice setup. A lot of people that have, with all these different things, right? Like we're the one podcast in the world. You know what I'm saying?
People got matching shirts.
You know what I'm saying? Twin, So, but what makes us different is our individual personalities and what we talk about, whatever, right? But the only reason why we are where we are versus where we want to be is exposure. And I'm gonna always say that. So like the money that we get from the journals, the money that we get from, all the other different plays that we putting together, like, that goes to allow us to be able to help us grow our influence and grow our virality. Yep. Because like that's the only thing that's missing is just exposure. It's just It goes to getting, because our content, bro, is second to none. Like people can watch our stuff and literally get changed.
No, for sure.
Like for free. Yeah. Like this is free. You know what I'm saying? Like let's be like this is free.
Yeah.
Like we spend hours of our time away from our family.
Right.
We spend however much money, you know, obviously the production, the cameras, the microphones, like all this stuff, like to sit here and help you, like for free, like you get this for free.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Go ahead.
See, I told you my tone sometimes come off like nigga. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like
My
that.
bad. No,
But I'm just saying though, it's
we're adding value.
Yeah, we adding value, bro.
Yeah,
we adding value, and the only reason why people don't know is exposure. So once we get it out and we get it into the right space, and we get the right audience, right? Like it's out of here.
I agree.
It's out of here. Out of here. You know what? Because people gonna get it. And they're gonna become millionaires off of this information.
Man,
millionaires.
I agree.
Internally.
Yeah.
Because we do a lot of, and what I mean by that is like, bro, Jim Rohn, I think it's Jim Rohn that said it, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone should become millionaires.
I believe that too.
Because of the person that they become in the process of becoming a millionaire.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like that's what it's about, bro.
People don't understand. It's not the money, and I'm not saying that to combat you, but what I'm saying.
No, it's not the money.
It's the person.
That goes directly. You're in directly alignment with twins, bro.
Yeah. It's the person. Because you add value.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead. And speaking of adding value, right? Like, and this is why, like, again, I'm on this journey to help people understand themselves, right? But I think it also comes, you got to understand yourself to be able to help people understand themselves too. Mm-hmm. And this is why it's why I love being process driven, because you can always repeat it. Mm-hmm. And for us, we talked about CliftonStrengths, and honestly, Gallup, CliftonStrengths, whatever, need to sponsor this podcast, because I'm telling you, like, I feel like we should talk about our strengths every single episode, right? Because I'm gonna give you an example. Because I took this CliftonStrengths test, right, or assessment, I understand that my number one strength is restorative, or is it belief? One of the two. But top five, the one or two is restorative. Right. And if somebody that's restorative likes to fix things, likes to put things together. So whenever I'm talking to somebody and they're telling me their problem, or they're telling me a challenge or whatever, you know what's the number one thing that my mind goes?
How to fix this.
How can I fix this?
Yeah. That's in my top 5 too.
But do you know what? I ain't gonna say it's most people, but a lot of people though, they don't want you to fix it. And so what I started doing recently, because I noticed about myself, when somebody tells me something, after they get done talking, I let them get it out. And I just say, hey, my restorative is kicking in heavy right now, where it wants me to help you fix this. Mm-hmm. Is that what you need, or you need a vent?
That makes sense.
I literally talking to one of my branch managers, and I asked that question. I just need a vent.
Oh,
because what I was doing before,
you set that boundary.
Yeah,
it's not about. It is a boundary. Yeah,
maybe
because people, you're helping people to understand you too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it kind of goes back to before. What I was saying is that it's not that I don't care about people or I don't have able to. It's just when people don't understand me because I'm different, right? But people don't, and I don't do a good job of explaining myself and who I am, or really like getting out who I am. It could be taken different ways. So it could come off like, oh, he don't care, he just want to move a number, blah, 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 blah. Right. No, it's my restorative. My restorative is just so strong. Right.
That's just who you are.
That's just who I am.
Yeah.
Right. But that doesn't mean that because I'm always trying to fix things that I don't want to fix you first.
You want to know something crazy about the Gallup?
I say fix you, but you know what I mean by that.
I realized my number one is ideation. Mm-hmm. I knew that I was, I knew that was a strength. Mm-hmm. Now I understand it.
Yeah.
I took that back in 2017, 18. Mm. But now I understand it. Like even doing this work, I realize where I get most charged because I do it so I can do it. How can I say this without sounding prideful? I could do it all. Mm-hmm. But I get more charged when I'm in ideal phase. Yeah. I like thinking about abstract things like architect. You know what I mean? But when it comes to building, it takes more energy to even hype myself up to do that. Like even with editing, like the detail stuff, it's like, bruh, I'm gonna wait a while.
Right.
You know what I mean? It
right.
takes energy to even get started, but I can do it. I get it done. But because I find the ideation in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, but I noticed that I don't like details, like detail, like that.
I understand it. I definitely understand. I feel like I'm very similar to that. Like I like coming up with an idea, but like putting into like running the play. Like I'm like, I'll let you do that. Let you delegate, right?
Yep.
But not like you. I'm just saying like the big people, just whatever. But what I'm saying is that when I let them vent, I'm able to really just sit there and listen and be in that moment with them.
To be present.
And it's like, man, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And you know what? I agree with you. Yeah, that's BS. You know, like, and I really, and because the thing is that the feelings that they have is valid.
Yeah, you feel what they feel.
But as their manager, I can't allow you to sit in that.
Right.
But if I know you just venting, and you know that the end result is I got to get off my butt and I got to do it,
right?
Then I can let you I can let you feel.
And you can coach them from that to point A, from point A to point B.
Bingo.
Because like, if you feel what they feel, dang, that sucks. Man, I've been through this. This is what I did. You know what I mean? Now you get into your restorative, like you kind of like switch gears and you can kind of, yeah. This was good, man. So listen, man, if you're in a leadership position, any position, and you're frustrated, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling like you're not going anywhere, first of all, stop comparing yourself to other people. You won't be able to make it nowhere doing that. What we're saying here is be who you are. That's why we do be more to do more. Become more of who you are. Clarity of self equals clarity of purpose. Know yourself, know your purpose.
But be aware of what your competition doing though, because you gotta still beat them out.
I mean, yeah, you still gotta see. I'm too
competitive to just let it ride. Like, you know, don't judge yourself off of what they do good.
Yeah.
Be aware of what they do good.
You gotta look at the market.
You gotta look at the freaking market.
And see. Once you understand the market and you know who you are, you know where you fit in the market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there may not be a spot in the market that you might have to carve your area out in the market.
That's what it's all about. That's what
we're talking about today.
Yeah. When you know yourself, you can create those opportunities because you are unique. It's not the position that make you. You make the position.
Boom.
Boom.
It's not the position. That's gonna be the title. Or something similar to that, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because when you said it, I said that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey man, but make sure y'all get that What Am I Doing Right journal. It really helps bring clarity. We have the reflection page where you can talk about
game changer.
Oh man, that reflection page.
Game changer.
You did a great job on that one.
Game changer.
Yeah. That am I aware? Your awareness of your relationship with God, your relationships, your relationship with purpose, all that, man. And then you can kind of answer the questions from what you did the past week.
We have like, you know, I got this water bottle, right? Like, because when I assess myself, I'm like, you know what can I do this upcoming week to be better in my health journey? Oh, you know what? Let's just get a freaking water bottle.
And you put that in the journal? Dang.
You know, like my life is getting so much better by being intentional through this journal.
Right. So, yes. So you reflect. Man, even advertising, man. Drink your water. But you reflect. We have a purpose tracker where you write down your top 3 to 5 goals for the week. And then you write down your intentions for that week as well. We have a journaling page for that week as well. So y'all get that journal, all right? Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell, man. Let's get this podcast out. We out.
All
right.
Peace.
Stick and move, we can get it done. Call it unity, it ain't no way around it. Cultivating, we get motivation from the big guy. We don't play about him. Going hard for the game, showing love.